Hey everyone, my name is Jared, and what I have behind me is something pretty dang cool. As everyone can tell, this is also my first video, by the way, so I have no idea really how to react, what to do, how to edit, or any of that fun stuff. So we're gonna try to do this in one clip. We're on my third try so far. Hopefully it doesn't go past that, but we'll find out. So I'm gonna try to take this, I'll leave it up for now. So this is my 1990 240 SX with an SR20 DET in it. So some might know, some might not know. This car actually came from Stay Tuned with Tony Angelo, who's a great dude. That entire channel, everyone that's involved with that channel, and honestly I kind of felt, I don't really know how to explain it. It was just a surreal moment to get an opportunity to meet him and kind of just everything they do. In this video, kind of explain how we got the car, which is pretty interesting, honestly, because it wasn't something I thought was going to happen. So it's a cool journey. And then we'll kind of go over like what's done with it now, some of the parts and stuff that we have, and then just kind of like what the plans are. So long story short, a few weeks ago, Tony had posted up on Facebook Marketplace. Well, not Tony himself, actually. Mike, one of the guys that's at his shop. There's 3 of them. I think he said maybe 4. So it gets really confusing how many there are and who's who. Had posted the car. They had it up for like 14 grand and had like everything on it. It was like explained that it was from like the Stay Tuned channel and everything. And I was like, you know, maybe this is true. Like, it's super cool. And I was like, screw it, we're gonna go for it. So a little backstory as to why I even messaged him in the first place. So my younger brother and I, mind you, you'll probably see him on the channel later on. He's about 6'2". I'm not that tall, so before all the short jokes come, I've heard most of them. But yeah, he's been drifting a little longer than I have. I just got into it about 2 years ago. I had a couple BMWs before that, like my first like year. And they're both verts, not very fun, hated working on them. Don't get me wrong, BMW chassis is proven, solid, and damn good, and I have nothing against them. I didn't want to go BMW again, so then I actually went to Miata with him because he had one, it was running awesome, and it was just super cool, plus we wanted to kind of like start a little team together. So I got one and we just went from there. Been running that, this will be the 2nd year on that, and I love the car. And it's super fun. But when people tell you it can limit you to a certain extent, they weren't lying. Now, don't get me wrong, I could do a massive swap. I could throw V8 in it. I could do some of the V6 swaps that some people have been doing. I could just turbo it if I really wanted to. But I don't know, I figured if I was gonna put the money into it and time into it, I was gonna get into something bigger, which is not much bigger, but something that was proven with, I've done hundreds of ride-alongs with different Corvettes, FRS swapped V8s, or like LSs, which is like one of the, or LS swapped FRSs and BRZs and stuff like that. I said it backward. Which is a crazy experience in it as his own. I'm gonna cut it here and try to splice them together real fast. We're getting food, so I'll be right back. So we're back. Hopefully I can splice them together, and if I did, that means that I learned my first step in editing, and that was putting the 2 clips together. Not 100% sure. I hope it works out though, because I don't want to do it all again. I kind of forgot where we left off. Yeah, so a couple years of drifting, stuff like that. And long story short, there's a couple guys that like I really don't want to miss the opportunity to really just get into comp with and just have fun and enjoy it. Because listen, I have no intentions of trying to win right away, anything like that. I want to get in, I want to get experience, I want to have fun, I want to just lay down some crazy laps with some really cool people and just see where things go from there, if I'm being honest. I love the sport, and it's just, I have a lot to learn, and I think this is going to be a phenomenal opportunity. I mean, God, for it to come from someone that's been around, you know, the whole community since it pretty much started, and, you know, ran hundreds and hundreds of laps in a ton of different fun cars, and I mean, it's pretty much grown since then. It was such a, I don't even know how to like describe it. It was such a like just incredible experience. I know like on video, if you go back and watch his video, I didn't seem that excited. I was like beyond excited. I didn't know how to react because that was like my first like official time kind of on camera. So, and this is like my second now, and still not much more comfortable, but we'll kind of like see how things float out. It was surreal, man. It really was. I mean, for them to drive the, like what, 6.5 hours on after that, and that was even after they had like a bunch of truck problems halfway here that put them way behind. So I mean, God, they were on the road for 9 hours that day. Got here at like midnight. Actually, we'll get into that in a second. So yeah, my brother and I, all that, decided wanted to do comp. Moving forward to now, or a couple weeks ago, I had an 06 Street Bob for like 3 years, and that thing was my baby. There's another one in here too. That was actually my first Harley that I sold to my dad, and it's still an awesome bike. But yeah, man, I love that Street Bob, and it was awesome, and it moves. Did a lot of work, and I took a lot of care of that bike. So I'm glad to see it go to somebody that rides hard, and a group of people that it's just gonna be cool. And I'm excited to see bike content back on his channel. I'm not sure if he did have it way before, because I know he used to race or do a lot with bikes in the past and stuff like that. If I'm a little wrong on that, don't like come after me. There's still things I don't know 100% of. Yeah, so posted the bike up online because I was like, I don't really want to sell my Miata yet because then I don't have anything to ride the rest of the season, and I don't really want to lose the opportunity to get as much seat time as I can. So posted the bike up online, had it up for a couple weeks, and I was kind of shooting offers to people. I was mostly looking at like Z's and stuff. I looked at a couple S chassis that I tried to trade for, and no one really was like in for it, which I get. I mean, you're trying to trade a Harley into in a realm that like a lot of people don't really ride Harleys. You know, it's a tough one to combat. So I didn't have a lot of luck, and it was a random Saturday. I was scrolling through and sending out a couple messages, and I came past this car and Mike's listing and everything, and I was like, you know what? It's well beyond everything. I said, it's a long shot. We're gonna shoot it and see what happens. So, excuse me. So yeah, shot the message, shot a picture of the bike, and said, hey, like, would you guys be interested? I think he got back to me either that night or the next day, and was like, hey, like, we're actually interested. Like, what's your phone number and all that. So did that, sent that over, and actually started talking to Tony from there. Had a couple phone calls and stuff, and like explained like what I was doing, and you know, started to dive more into just kind of everything with it and like the deal and stuff. And he was like, hey man, like we might be able to make this work, you know, because then there was like, if you go and watch his video on his channel, which you definitely should because his channel is insane, he wanted to go pick up an FXR too. So he ended up making, or got two bikes that are like, the Dyna chassis is one of the best Harleys you can get when you comes down to like stunt riding and performance and just having fun. There's a lot of stuff to like combat that, but the FXR is like the all-time, like right here. They're like right about here. I'd say the FXR is here, Dyna's about here when it comes down to performance and just ability and ride feel and everything. And it's crazy too because the FXR is a lot older than the Dyna, but nonetheless, he was in for the deal, so we made it happen. And well, I don't even want to say he did. You know, I mean, and I can't thank him enough for the opportunity kind of he's given me with this car and like just his whole shop. Like, dude, those guys are awesome. Please, if you get time, go check out their channel. If you haven't already, subscribe to them, watch their stuff, and keep up. Like it's awesome. You'll learn an insane amount. And yeah, so we ended up making the deal happen at midnight on a Tuesday. They were here until about 2 in the morning. You can kind of tell we were all pretty tired when it was all kind of happening. But yeah, we did all that, got the bike switched over, and got the car, got all the parts, started it up that night, and it was awesome. So, aside from that, let's get into the car. I'm gonna try to pop you down off of here, and then see how this looks. Whoop. Click the back of this thingy. There we go. Okay, so SR20 DET. We have an MMP S300 ball bearing turbo, oil cooled and water cooled, or not oil cooled, water cooled, and then yeah. I want to say they have an 8 to 10 pound spring in there right now. What else was I gonna say? Lost my train of thought. We're gonna get it back here in just a second. So yeah, on the dyno, I want to say 319 wheel horse. That's what I was trying to think of. I was going through it in my brain because I wrote like all like the little stuff down. So aside from that, all intercooled stuff like that. I'm trying to think of like the other fun stuff. It's pretty much a stock motor for the most part. They have bigger injectors, the different turbo, all of this custom intercooler piping, which is super cool. And little fun fact, this little knob right here is actually off of an industrial garage dustpan. So it's like super sick. Just like a little key point. Brand new BC coilovers. I mean, we have wire specialties, engine harness and chassis harness. So you got like the PDM and everything down here. We have a Link ECU. It's a G4X, I want to say, that's inside of the original unit. That's a power digital monitor. I have to look at my writing and everything. We are missing a windshield, so just ignore the fact that we're just kind of hanging out inside of here. Cobra seats. We have a full 6-point cage with some beefy door bars, which I'm like incredibly excited about. It's one of like my big points. GK tech pretty much around the whole car and like a whole bunch extra in part wise. So we have the handbrake. I want to say we have different lowers, maybe. I think actually there's still the stock knuckles on here, but they're cut, so we had to source this stock knuckles for the GK Tech angle kit, and all that. This is all new. He has pretty much all new brake lines around the entire car too. And then we have a bunch of extra. It is a hatch, which is super sick. I'm like incredibly excited about that too. Bash bar front and rear. We still have like the original dash that we're gonna have some fun with. In Origin, I want to say is the manufacturer for the. If I can get my dang camera to turn back on. For the body kit around it, but yeah, original dash and everything like that. Then we have a whole KBD kit around the sides. So we got the rear bumper, front bumper, both side skirts. Okay, sorry, we're back. I had a battery die on me there. So yeah, in the meantime, while I was checking the batteries and stuff, this is a lot of the stuff that was done with it. We also have an OS Geiken triple disc clutch. It's pretty much like the beefiest clutch they made. It was actually really funny to see when he found that out. Real fast too before I forget that. Did do the cat hump delete and everything else like that. Yeah, so I'm gonna stick you back up here for a second. That's a great view of my forehead. So yeah, super funny about the clutch itself. He had no idea that it was in there because, like, you know, it's a pretty much stock motor. The motor and trans, the drivetrain itself, essentially, actually came out of his buddy's 240 that he bought. That he kind of let, like, his buddy just let it rot into the ground. He bought it to like fix up a lot of the rust and stuff like that, and then decided after some time he was like, you know, you're gonna spend a lot of time doing that, you know. And that's when he started looking up online and ended up finding a totally clean Florida frame, which is where this frame essentially has come from, and did the full swap and everything. I want to say, yeah, the one that he did was the 92, and then into a 90 frame. So yeah, OS Geiken clutch. So when they pulled it when they split the trans and motor itself, they did that because down where your clutch hits a little lever, like the pivot lever to move the throttle bearing and everything, there was like, it looked like mice had been up in there. So they ended up splitting the two, and as they did, actually found a whole rat's nest inside of, like mouse nest inside of like the bell housing, which was like super funny. Cleaned it out, no biggie, everything moved up real nice, lubed it all up, everything like that. In the process of doing that, found out that whoever had, like his buddy, or whoever had, before his buddy had the SR20 in it, put an OS Geiken triple disc clutch, and it's supposedly capable of upwards of like 1,000 horsepower, and it had no wear spots in it. Like, it looked like it was pretty much brand new. And boy, do I tell you, it feels like it's damn near brand new. Yeah, so all custom fabrication on the intercooler piping and all that stuff. With the Link ECU, they had to put a different trigger wheel in the cast. trying to think. They did stitch welding around the whole, like around all like the pinch welds and everything, which is huge. It's like it's massive. I wish all cars just came like that. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, painted the whole thing gray. Hopefully, so by the way, like the whole point of this, like video and everything, is I want to keep track of like what we're doing, and I want to show the progression of this car, and then hopefully once we get to a level that we can maybe start taking it to some fun events, get some like really cool videos and go from there. That way, like just to show it off, because I want to keep it going, you know, like Tony and them allowed me this opportunity pretty much to have like get into something that has the capability to grow my skills and do something with, and I'm incredibly excited, and I just essentially wanted to show the journey of it, kind of. And what else comes of it, I have no idea, but starting from there and kind of just seeing where things go. If you also fall off of there, it's because my mount's not great. Like I said, I'm not like a big videographer or like person like that, or like am very capable with a lot of this, so it's gonna be a fun learning curve for all of us, including myself. So the car has been sitting for about a year-ish, so there's a bit we're gonna have to do. It likes to break up a bit when I turn it on. Just super simple stuff. We're gonna start off with better fuel, first of all, because that fuel's probably waterlogged, just like Tony was saying. Maybe some new plugs, some other like little things. I gotta replace the thermostat in there. He also, by the way, put a GK Tech fan, and if I can get a good video, I'll show you. This thing supposedly pulls, it's hard to see. I'll get a flashlight at some point, or like a better light for my video stuff. 60% more air than the stock fan, like, which is insane. So yeah, that's exciting. It makes all the fun, really woo-too-too sounds, and I'm super excited about those. Never had like a turbo car, so it's gonna be a heck of a learning curve. It was tuned by Jimmy Oaks too, by the way, which is like crazy. So if I ever, yeah, it's cool. Oh yeah. Camera's not broken. We're good. God, that was an even better view of my forehead. If anyone has any better recommendations on things to buy so I don't break my only camera, I'd love that. Thank you. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna do a whole heck of a lot of it today. We have like a million parts over there because Tony's an absolute unit, and that sews that garage and hooks me up with pretty much everything they had for this car, which is sick, like super sick, because we're gonna have GK Tech around damn near the whole thing. Like, you know, we're gonna have the angle kit in the front end, you have the handbrake, like the fans. He has an an anti-squat plate kit, which I've never done. I'm gonna have to do some research on that to figure it out. That you weld into the rear frame. Like I said, I gotta like look it in some more. So essentially it takes the squat out, so it just throws a bunch of grip into the car and it just smokes like crazy. And that's definitely what we're looking for. Yeah. I mean, I think it's gonna be a sick journey, and I am incredibly excited about it. Hopefully, you know, I can keep all of you here for the time to enjoy this whole thing and, you know, make Tony and them all proud. And then pretty much everyone that's supporting this idea, which is like my whole family and like my fiance and stuff, and couldn't really have done it without any of them. So yeah, I'll probably end it off here for now, just so I can give like a little update on the car. And then hopefully next, we're probably gonna dig into, oh, I thought that fell, good Lord. Ignore my spasm, I heard like the little suction. Next, we're probably gonna tear into getting the interior and stuff pulled apart, just so we can get the inside matching gray, and probably get the roll cage painted. That way, whatever we do from here forward, I don't have to take it apart to repaint anything. Because once we get the cage and stuff painted, then we can throw a windshield on it. And then I don't have to wear like a whole face shield if we want to drive it down the road. It'd be like super cool. So yeah, I'm super stoked. This is gonna be sick. Super exciting. I think that's it. Hopefully you all don't hate like the video. I also notice it makes me look like I have like a bald spot on my hair. Just ignore that. So yeah, thanks for joining me on the whole journey. hopefully we'll meet some like super cool people along the way. You'll get to see like a lot of my buddies and brother and everything, and hopefully some racing stuff at some point soon, and hopefully this thing out this season. Maybe, I don't know, I don't want to push it and get ahead of myself, and yeah, I want to make sure it's good and ready to go. So I guess I'll see you next time. Thanks.